Wow. It's really hard to believe that it is 9:30. 9:30 of 2023. It'd be nice if I could look back on my life at that time. See exactly what was going on last year this time. Nevertheless, bro, we are on the cusp of great change. And, bruh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait till this prophecy is fulfilled, bruh. Where we are delivered from this captivity. You know, I'm tired, bro. And you know, I've said it many times that I'm freaking tired, and I really am. And many of my people, we're tired. The amount of injustice that we as a people have endured through and continue to endure through. But within my life, I can speak about my life because I'm the one that's living it. I can see the hand of the Most High in my life. There's a line that's been drawn, bro. An invisible line, because it's, you know, though it's out there and people are talking about it, it has not become official. But this line that I'm talking about is the line of their time against us being up. Their time to hold us down is up, bro. Our rise is inevitable. Our position, whatever our task is upon this earth, whatever our mission is, we are going to operate in it. We're going to be happy in it. We're going to fulfill our purpose upon this earth. Though we are going through absolute hell in the process of getting there. However, that line that's been drawn, it's going to become more and more crystal clear. It's going to come into focus where it's crystal clear, where the whole world is going to see it. And it's no longer going to be an invisible line. It's going to be clearly visible to everybody upon the face of the earth. And those of you who have been looking your nose down at us, disregarding us, ignoring us, hating us, trying to keep us down, all of these things, oppressing us, you are going to be the very people that will be the most humiliated. Yes. The head is going to become the tail. All of you people on your pedestal, all of you looking your nose down at those of us who are deemed outcasts of this society. Those who are deemed the rejects of this society. The nonconformist. Those who don't fit into your boxes because we have a different purpose. See, the all power of love and life, the very essence of love and life and all things good, it's that time. It's time for the uplifting of the veil of deception. The power went out. Wow. And now it just came back on. That is crazy as hell, bro. That's crazy. Anyway, the uplifting of the veil of deception is inevitable. When truth comes around, the lies have to run and hide. That's so crazy, bro. I cannot believe the freaking power went out like that. And now my baby's water fountain don't seem like it's working right. I have to check my PC. I know my PC turned off. And I may have had notepads that I didn't even save, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. I hate when that shit happens. That's crazy. I swear, like, it seems like somebody literally just flipped a switch. Somebody just literally flipped a switch. Like they're testing. You know, they're testing to see how they can turn the power off. Testing to see how it works, you know, in different districts and whatnot. Like, bruh, all of this. See, the wicked, they know that their time is up. That's what the people don't know. The regular common people don't know. The regular common people are oblivious to the time that we're truly living in. Many are misled into religion. And by religion, you know, they have no understanding of true prophecy because they're following Gentile philosophies. They are following the ideologies of mortal men who are the worst of the heathen. Okay? They're handing down, passed down information from mortal men. Okay? And they have no understanding. None whatsoever. Those at the top, they have full understanding and they already know that they're damned. So what do? They're like, our time is short. So let us abuse the poor righteous man. Let us not let any rosebuds pass us by. Let us just use and abuse everything because we are like a breath in the wind. You know, they know that they're going to pass away. And that all of this is going to be forgotten. All of this hell that people are comfortable and complacent with. You're happy with your oppression. You're happy working your freaking jobs so that you can have your money, so that you can have your precious things and your big houses and you can flaunt on people. But love is here now. Love has been arisen. And love burns in the hearts of some of us that's been mistreated all of our lives simply because we were different. Bro, in all honesty, I don't know in which order I'm gonna put these audios out, bruh. I am scheduled to have installed on the 3rd of October through AT&T, a program that they have to help those that don't have income. Alright, because I literally told them I do not have income. I told them I'm a content creator. You know, sometimes I get love donations. But I was upfront and honest with them and explaining to them that I have not received any love donations, you know, in quite a while, in order to pay, you know, my internet. And anyway, the first lady that I spoke with, she was most helpful, bro. She listened to me. Everything that I had to say, you know, asked me what I use the internet for. I explained that I'm a content creator on YouTube. And so she, you know, stated, you know, okay, so you need the high speed, unlimited internet. And well, at first I objected and said, well, no, you know, whatever you have that's free. And I explained again, making clear that I don't have income and that I'm 100% dependent upon the living power to supply all my needs. Because I have been instructed to walk in my purpose. Like, yes, bro. Like, I live this truth. So it's not like I'm just giving these people, you know, bull crap, okay? I actually live this with my life, okay? I am dependent upon the living power to sustain me and to supply all my needs, okay? I have not been able to pay rent for this month because it did not come in. However, supernaturally, I have not received a notice of eviction on my door. Now, the last time I didn't pay my rent by the late date, which was the 6th of June, they put a freaking eviction notice on my door on 6/6/2023. Okay? That was the same day it was late. Same day it was late, they put an eviction notice on my door. However, it's September 30th, and I was not able to pay the rent for this month because there were no love donations that came in, you know, to enable me to do that. And that's miraculous, bro. I noticed things like that. You know, I noticed this. This is huge, okay? Because, like, bro, how great is the Most High? Because it doesn't matter that my internet was cut on 9/23. The night of 9/23. I mean, yeah, it mattered, you know, and it sucked. And it does suck. But, bro, this is all for a bigger purpose. This is all for a purpose, okay? This is all ordained, all right? Everything that I'm going through, every single thing, okay? All of this is one giant test. Like, my heart. What is my heart condition in all of this? Am I angry at anyone? Am I upset at anybody in particular? No, because I understand that we all have free agency, okay? I understand the hearts and minds of the people upon the earth. I get why you're cold-hearted. I get why you've been conditioned to be selfish and hoard. Okay, that's what we're conditioned with throughout our whole freaking life, okay? We're conditioned to get that bag, get your own, hold yours and your own down. and let the next man do his own thing. You know, to an extent, because you don't allow people to do their own thing when it comes to following the will of the Most High for their life, because on surface level, it looks like they're lazy. It looks like they're rebellious. It looks like they're all of these things that are against the status quo of the society in which they're operating in, okay? So for me, this is how I am looked at when following the will of the Most High for my life, okay? Because many of you are so self-righteous and or so conditioned to this system, so dependent upon this system, that is all you know and is all you can see. Therefore, it makes no sense to you for me to not get a job. Okay? It makes no sense to you for me to not take care of myself. That's how you will put it. That's how it's put. Get a job so that you can support yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you are self-sufficient. But this is not what the Most High told us to do with our lives upon this earth. So just because I don't follow the wisdom of this world, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong, and it certainly doesn't mean that I'm wicked. Like, bruh, no matter what it looks like in my life, I know that I am with the Father. I am of my Father because I operate in love and in truth. Okay? I am not complacent with lies and deception. Alright? Now, you are complacent with deception. You're complacent with this illusion that we've been forced to live. Okay? It's time for us to be free, bro. Like, you're so complacent with this freaking system that's been built on our land. It's time for these lies to die. Okay? It's time for the lies to die. You did not bring us over here on slave ships from Africa. Stop it. The original definition of American is the aboriginal, copper-colored races of people that were found here by the Europeans, but now apply to the descendants of the Europeans. Until you can explain that definition to me, there ain't nothing that you say will mean a hill of beans unto me. Okay? It wouldn't mean a damn thing because you can't comprehend something as simple as a definition of the original American. No, you want to ignore all that and leap to assumptions and ideologies of Eurocentric people that coveted our land and did exactly what Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 15 through 68 said they would do. To a perfect T. And then you got this other group that refuse to critically think on all aspects. They blindly accept the interpretations of men when it comes to breaking down Deuteronomy chapter 28. Oh, it has to come from Africa. It has to come from West Africa on slave ships. It couldn't possibly come from the Caribbean. Couldn't possibly come from South America to North America, or North America to South America, or the coast of the islands of the Florida to freaking, harbors of New York. Couldn't happen nowhere near like that. Oh no. It all had to come from Africa to the Americas. See, that's because you blindly accepted a man's ideology, a man's interpretation of Deuteronomy chapter 28. When you let go of everything that you have been taught to believe, and you allow the Spirit of truth to lead and guide you by the hand, you humble yourself like that as a child, allowing the Holy Spirit to lead and guide you into all truth. For there is no lie in the Spirit of truth. You allow Him to remove the scales from your eyes. You allow the anointing of the Holy Spirit to anoint your eyes, to where you read with newborn eyes. And you're quickened by way of the Holy Spirit, and how it connects to us being indigenous on this land over here in the fourth part of the earth, the final part in which the heathen was allowed to come destroy and then hide it, bury it, cover it up, never to be talked about. When we bring it up today, we're called racist. We're called hateful for bringing out the truth of who you are and who we are, and the true biblical land, the true biblical prophecies. Oh no, it's all hate speech. Shut them up. Take down their channels. We can't be having no uprising. They call us freaking terrorists. We're called the terrorists when they came and terrorized our land and the indigenous people that were here in this land. Some of us the most freaking humble and docile. Some of us the most merciful. Some of us the most loving and forgiving. You're horrid to us, and you continue to be unto this day towards the hidden ones of the living power upon this earth. We're continuously sent to this earth, and now we are the living witnesses who has been arisen. You want to read Revelations as a literal interpretation. Oops, folly to you. Because it's not literal. We are the living witnesses. Israel and Judah, we have been arisen. And we stand upon our feet with boldness as we bring you this word by the way of the Holy Spirit. And there ain't nothing that you can do to refute this truth. And you know it. That's why you ignore it. You ignore it. And then you go on your own platforms and you slander. Well, you talk buku smack, but you can't back it up with not a lick of evidence. But yet we got all the evidence. The physical evidence and the spiritual evidence. We are the living witnesses upon this earth. My life is a testimony. I am a living testimony. It doesn't matter what you believe. It don't even matter what you think. It does in a way. Because what you think, out of the abundance of your heart, the mouth speaketh. So whatsoever you're thinking, that comes before you speak it. Most of the time. And pretty much all the time, because even subconscious comes from your mind, where you think. So out of the abundance of the heart is what you think and what you say. And out of the abundance of the heart is what you're going to be judged upon. See? Is it abundance in your heart to get this money by any means necessary? Or is it an abundance of your heart to love your neighbor as you do yourself, regardless of the circumstances in which you encounter in your life? And it just somehow seems that pretty much all your life has been hell. Like one giant test after another, refining you in the fire of adversity and affliction, all your life being hated and scorned, never accepted, outcasted, nobody understanding you, nobody accepting you. You're a oddball. You're strange. You don't fit in over here, not around us. By my own people, I was rejected, bro. Just like the Messiah. Just like the Messiah came to his own people and they rejected him. And they handed him over to the worst of the heathen. It was the white boys, the group of white boys, that allowed me to be free to be me. The several years that I hung around them in my party lifestyle. In my party days, bro. And there were others so-called black people, very few, you know, but the ones that were, they were kind of like me, you know, the oddball of our people. But accepted amongst the group of white people that we were kicking it with. What connected us? Love. Normal, you know, normal love of a human being. You know, we're all born with natural love ability, okay? We're all born loving, okay? And the herb kept us calm, and we had a bond with the herb of the earth. So we would smoke the herb, and we would bond together. It was love that drew us together. It was love that we had for one another to allow one another to be ourselves. I don't ever remember in any time in this group of ever being demeaned or put down for my natural personality. No, they loved me for me, bro. They accepted me for who I was and who I am. Only one time was it kind of forced that I participate in cocaine, you know, but I refused to snort it up my nose. I was not the type to want to snort some shit up my nose, bro. So I stood firm on that. You know, I'm not gonna snort no shit, bro. I ain't doing that. Because they were trying to get me to snort it. I'm like, oh hell no. And so they resorted to having me smoke a snow cap bowl. So I compromised. You know, since they weren't going to force me to snort a line because they were all high, you know, off their coke and they were tripping, you know, but they still weren't, you know, infringing upon my rights, you know, to the fullest extent, you know, because they didn't force me to snort. So I went ahead and complied and smoked a snow cap bowl. I let them sprinkle a little bit of the powder on my herb. And I took a few hits of that until they were satisfied. And I don't even remember, you know, the high, you know. Like, I can't describe to you. I don't remember, you know. If there is even a difference, I don't even remember. Okay, I don't remember acting different. I don't remember any differences. But anyway, that being said, we were all pretty much allowed to just be us, you know. And this was like over a period of, 6 to 7 years or so, give or take, you know. The Father allowed me to see good white people out there. And when I say white people, I'm just generalizing, okay? Pale skinned people, alright? So anyway, the Eurocentric nations of people, okay, including your Asians and all your light skinned, pale skinned people, but primarily I was talking about the so-called Europeans, okay. That was the group that I hung out with, this group of white boys. And their girls seemed to be alright with me for the most part, Their girls eventually, if they hung around long enough, their girls eventually accepted me too, and respected me for who I was. I remember one in particular. Was her name Crystal? I don't even remember, bro. I be getting the names mixed up now. I don't know. I can't say for sure. If her name was named Crystal, I don't remember. But I remember one day that we had went to the park. I think it was just me and her. It was just me and her one day, cause I don't remember where Jason went. I'm not gonna make nothing up, but it was me and her, and she drove to the same park that me and Jason will always walk to, all right, to smoke. And so anyway, we chilling cause Jason at that time lived at home with his moms. And his moms didn't play that smoking weed in the house really, We did sometimes, out of a bowl, but he had to like crack open a window and whatnot. And we had to be really quiet because his mom didn't play that smoking bud in the house, So that's why we ended up walking to the park or something to smoke. So anyway, long story short, he wasn't there that day. I forget if he had left or went to go do something, but anyway, I happened to be visiting that day. And anyway, me and what's her name, whether it's Emily or some other name that I can't even remember. I think her name was Crystal, but I don't remember. We end up coming to the park to smoke. And so as we smoking and whatnot, I remember it was a cool part of it was cool but not cold. It was fall time, okay? So it was like maybe 50, 60 degrees out. It wasn't too freaking cold. But I even remember what type of coat I had on, okay? I had a long as, I think it was either Adidas or Nike coat. But it was a stylish coat. And I think my dad had bought it for me. My dad has always bought me stylish, materialistic things, every now and then, so my dad had took us to Foot Locker one day, and that was the coat that I had picked out. And so anyway, that was what I was wearing, and it was reversible as well. And that particular day, I was wearing the dark side, the dark blue. I forget which team it was. It might have been the Broncos. It might have been the Broncos, but I'm not for sure. I don't even remember. It could have just been Nike altogether. I don't even remember. Could have just been a plain Nike when I don't remember. But it was reversible. The other side looked like Downy. It looked like Downy, and it was all white. It was like light blue, like the stitching and whatnot was light blue. But on the other side, the reverse side that I was wearing that particular day, it was dark blue and it was shiny. It wasn't Downy looking, it was shiny. And anyway, bro. No, it didn't have a hood, but the stitching was in white, okay? The stitching was in white. So anyway, I was wearing that, and we were smoking, and I think I had a cap on, cocked to the right like I always do. And so we just talking, and the next thing I remember, bro, I remember this vividly. She was like, you're really real. She was like, and I appreciate you being really real. She's like, I truly believe you. I believe you. Like, because, bro, you don't know how much that meant to me to hear her say that. Because she could see my soul. She could see my spirit. Like, she saw through the physical shell. She saw through the outer package. You know what I'm saying? She saw through to my soul, and that's what she was letting me know. Now, crazy thing is, bro, uh, this same one later on down the line, because I think that, yeah, this was the same one, bro, because I had known her for a long damn time. Through him, okay, because this was his girl. But later on down the line, and I'm not telling this story to brag or nothing like that, people. And quite frankly, we didn't really do nothing. You know, I never got that far. So I just want to nip that in the bud right then and there, okay? But nevertheless, on to the story. Later on down the line, Jason started to show some signs of racism, okay? And she started noticing it. She did not like this part of him, but she seen him blow up on me one day over some racist shit. He said some racist shit to me, and where he said it at, you know, I was the only so-called black person in there, you know, but pretty much all my life I have had the hand of the Most High on my life, okay? So anyway, this is just a little bit about my life, and I'm just flowing by way of the Spirit and telling you people, okay? So anyway, we're in this, I think it might have been Subway. I think it was Subway, and we had shrooms. And we had put the shrooms on our Subway sandwich, okay? So anyway, we had already had some earlier, and I think we were topping off our dosage and whatnot. So we were in Subway, and we were eating, and we were topping off our dosage of the shrooms, all right? The first time I ate shrooms, I probably only ate just a little bit because it was my first time, and I didn't know how I was going to respond on it, you know. So I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't flip out and you know, just be absolutely out my mind, you know. I always take it slow, bro. I'm not the type of person that just trusts freaking drugs and just takes some shit, okay? Even when I did ecstasy, and that's a whole nother story, bro. I'm not even trying to get on that, but long story short, I took half of that small ass little pill. And that pill was so tiny, bro. It was so freaking tiny, but nevertheless, I had my homie divided in half, and I only took half of one, okay? So anyway, back to the Subway. So that's where Jason had said that racist shit against me, you know, putting me in the category of so-called niggers, you know, basically calling us niggers, saying that's why niggers don't ever pay their debts, you know. That's when he said that to me, and she was there, and it seemed like if I remember right, her mouth was on the floor, her jaw was on the floor, like she couldn't believe he said that. Because, bro, I have no idea how long we had all been friends. We had been friends for years, okay? Jason was the one that stood up for me at the Bible Institute World Changers group, okay? So, we both were a part of World Changers until they kicked me out. When they kicked me out, he left, okay? He left after they kicked me out. And he stood up for me, telling them that they had no right to judge me. That, you know, the first of them that ain't committed no sin, throw the first stone. You know, he literally put them in their place, bro, because they were so self-righteous against me, and they were all ridiculing me. They were all coming together against me, in unison, all of them. And Jason was the only one that stood up for me in that moment in time. And then we became best friends, you know, because before then I didn't really have a lot of friends. Definitely not no white boys no white people. I had never had a white friend before Jason. He was the first, okay? And so I never really had friends, you know, before Jason. I mean, I did here and there, you know, those that kind of like more like associates, but never really a friend except for Emily, and that was back when I was like 10 years old. We were fooling around. My mom called us and whatnot, you know, but anyway, I don't be trying to go off on these tangents, bro. I don't, okay? Sticking with the story with Jason, it was years later that he showed his deep-seated racist views. Now, see, kind of early on, not too early, but midway, he did show me his Confederate flag. So he showed me his Confederate flag, and this was right around the time that we started, sharing our culture with one another. The type of music that I grew up listening to, the type of music he grew up listening to, and whatnot. So we got really close, bro. We got really close. He taught me a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie, bro. He taught me a lot. Nevertheless, I taught him a lot too from a different perspective. I don't know if he'll admit it to this day, but I taught him a lot of the oracles of the living power in which he lacked. And I did this normally, okay? Normally, I was a good-hearted person. Normally, I didn't have any secret hidden agendas or any hatred in my heart, okay? I was always genuine. So these genuine characteristics that I naturally had about myself, I'm sure had to rub off on him in some aspect, in some way. Okay? So that's how I mean that I also helped him and taught him a lot about realness and love, generosity, kindness, forgiveness, patience. These things. Well, hell, back then I think I had to work on my patience. I don't think I had patience back then, in all honesty. Patience came later. It was one of the final things that the Father had been working on me with, hence why he had me add that to the fruits of the Spirit upon which I meditate. So anyway, bro, about time that happened with his girl started hanging out with me more and more. It was weird, but like she would call me, bro. She'd call me and be like, "What you doing?" And I'd be like, just at this time, I remember one time in particular, bro. One time in particular, I had bought me like a 6-pack or something, and I was just chilling. I think it might have been 4th of July. I forget what time. I don't know exactly what date it was, bro. I don't remember exactly. But I think it was kind of warm outside because I was able to sit out on my porch. Okay? I was able to sit out on my porch. Anyway, she called me, and I would listen to, back then I would listen to the radio or a cassette tape that I recorded, that I made myself. I always make, I always would make, my own mixes, like, well, not mixes, but my own songs. I record the songs that I want to hear. I had been doing that from the time I was young, when there was cassette tapes. Okay, I would make my own playlist. All right. So anyway, I would either be listening to that, or I would. And I also would DJ, like, bro, this stuff is coming back to memory. I remember I would talk on these cassette tapes. This is all coming back to my remembrance, bro. It's so crazy. It is so crazy that I forgot that I used to freaking record myself talking and singing and doing all kinds of shit, and record it on cassette tape, alright? I did this shit. So either I'd be listening to that or I'd be listening to music. Most time I was listening to music and I sit out on the porch and I was drinking a few beers by myself, okay? So anyway, this one particular night, she calls me up and asked me what I was doing. I was like, I just drinking a few beers here and there. Chilling on the porch, listening to some tunes. What's up with you? What you doing? You gonna roll through? Back then, I was a, slick talker and whatnot, but I don't think I was really the type to, I wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna like, get your girl and shit like this. But this was after, like, okay, so one thing did happen before this. Before she called me up that night. There was a particular day, I forget what we were doing, but she came to pick me up to take me somewhere. I forget where. I forget where we were going, but I remember she came to pick me up, and when she came to pick me up and I got in the car, it was her and her girlfriend, right? I think her girlfriend was the one that was driving, and she was in the passenger seat, okay? And I was in the back, alright? I forget what I was wearing. However, I don't forget the cologne that I was wearing, which they discontinued now. Like, it's absolutely insane, because it was like driving these girls crazy, okay? It was driving them insane. They both like would not shut up about how good I smelled, okay? And she, the one that was in the passenger seat, my homeboy's girlfriend, okay, she literally climbed in the back seat on me and began like out of nowhere, like sniffing me and like, bruh, like, oh my god, you smell so good. And I'm just stunned, but at the same time, I'm chill, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad y'all like it, I'm being cool about it, I'm literally keeping my composure. And so anyway, I'm just letting her go crazy on me, just intoxicated by my smell. And this is a white girl. So anyway, bro, I just remember that vividly. I don't remember much after that. But however, later that night, I think it was later that night, that same night, they wanted to come over. So that's what she called me up for. She called me up and she was like, "Hey, we on our way over, on party and whatnot." And so they come over. Well, soon after, like not even 15 minutes, bro. Not even 15, 20 minutes after she had arrived, her and her friend, and they brought more beer. They brought Rolling Rock along with some lime, So I'm in the middle of, breaking open the Rolling Rock and cutting me a lime, and all of a sudden there's a bang, 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 bang. Sound like the police knocking at the door, right? And so I go to the door, I'm like, "Who is it?" He's like, "Jace." And he sound mad, right? He sound real, real mad. And so I open the door immediately. I'm like, "What's up, bro? Let him in, cause I ain't got no animosity towards him, But he angry as hell at me, bro. And like he just enraged. No, he didn't put his hands on me or nothing, but bruh, I could see the anger in his eyes, and he looking at her and looking at me like bruh, like he was assuming that I was screwing her. Assuming that she was picking me over him or something, but I didn't know that they were having a fight. I didn't know that they were going through their issues and whatnot. So anyway, we go out and we talk, and he asked me straight up, "Is anything going on between you and her?" I'm like, "No, bro, I ain't gonna do you that way." I don't think I told him about how, she was liking my cologne and shit like that. I might have said they complimented me on my cologne, but other than that, I mean, I wasn't trying to get her in trouble, and we didn't do anything really, but I wasn't trying to get her in trouble or nothing, So I said, "No, bruh, no, I'm not doing that with her. You're my boy." And so anyway, he still seemed like he was angry, but I think if I remember right, he made her leave. If I remember right, yeah, they ended up leaving. He was making her leave, and I think because she left, her homegirl left too. So anyway, bro. I remember that. I just remember bits and pieces about my life back when I was in the world. But back when I was in the world, it was these white people. It was these people that accepted me. Jason was the first, and then after Jason, he kind of broke the ice, for me being cool with white people, So then, when I got jobs and shit at, Rex's Chicken, I met a white boy named Ben, and then later I got to meet his little brother Adam. And through them, I met a whole bunch of other white boys, okay? We all hung out together. But the main ones was Ben. Ben was my homie. And like I said, through Ben, his little brother Adam at the time that I met Ben through Rex's Chicken, his little brother Adam was in jail for assault and battery. Anyway. So anyway, bro, the shift leader of Rex's Chicken was Matt Green, okay? And Matt Green had his own place because we all still lived with our parents, okay? I think I was like 19 at this time. At this time, I think I was about 19 or 20. Because I met Jason when I was doing the VBI thing, and that whole thing blew up, and they kicked me out, and Jason came out too. So I was around um, 19, 20 when that happened. So I was probably like 20. I was probably like 20 because I think my mom kicked me out. I mean, I was still living it with my mom when I was working at Rex's Chicken, and she kicked me out when I was like 21 or 22. I don't remember when. It was around then, but I was working. Where the hell was I working when she kicked me out? I forget where I was working, if I was working at all. I don't even remember. I don't remember if I was working or not when she kicked me out. But it was through the job at Rex's Chicken that I was cool with Ben. Okay, because we both smoked earth. Like my first day on that job, Ben was token and I smoked, and so that's how we connected. We smoked bud together, okay? And we became best friends. Ben was my homie. This was after all of that shit with Jason went down, so, me and his friendship blew up and we were no longer friends pretty much from that point at Subway on, It kind of escalated and blew up. Well, until that day about his girl. But I don't know, bro. I might have it backwards. That could have happened after. I don't remember. But anyway, nevertheless, me and Jason's relationship kind of went out the door. And next was being good friends with Ben. And then, through him, got to know Matt Green. But I wasn't really, Matt Green's, best friend or nothing. I was one of the main ones that helped to clean his place. We all would pitch in and clean his place because when he became a crackhead, he didn't never care about nothing but his rock. So when we first met Matt Green, he was the neatest person we had ever met. And he had never tried rock before. But somehow someone got to him. I think it was this black dude. It was a black dude that offered to me to sell and or smoke some rock, and I'm like, nah. He was trying to say first hit free. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want none of that, And he was trying to get me to sell it because at first he was trying to offer it to me to smoke 1 hit free, first hit free, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. Well, after he was sure that I didn't want to try it out or nothing like that, then he offered for me to sell it. And I'm like, nah, bruh, I don't want to have nothing to do with that, But anyway, nevertheless, I was offered to participate in the rock game, okay? But I turned this shit down. That was not my scene, okay? But anyway, I got to see the transformation of Matt Green because he went from having white carpet, like his place was, he had a badass pad, bruh. His pad was pimping, alright? He had a pimpin' ass pad. It's where we all kicked it. Like the whole crew that smoked bud together at Rex's Chicken after work, the place to be was Matt Green's. Okay? So we were all there. And it was, yes, a group of white boys. Okay? And me. Alright? And we were all just smoke and drink or whatever, Anyway, my mom, during this time, that's when my mom started threatening to kick me out. And eventually she kicked me out because I wasn't coming home on curfew, and I think it started when I was with Jason. I remember her calling the cops on me one night when Jason was dropping me off in his purple truck. I remember seeing the cops at my door, and my mom talking to them. Like, bruh, like, my life has been crazy, people, and I'm sure you can tell this just by me talking to you for this duration of time. Okay, and this just a little bit of aspect about my life when I was in the world, without knowledge of who I am, okay? Because the Father allowed us to be put to sleep and to just, act out in our flesh, okay? However, nevertheless, there were things instilled within me, that stuck with me, and I never, tuned that out, like the conscience, I knew right from wrong. I knew good from evil. I never really did anything to anybody that I wouldn't want done to myself. Though I did covet, bro. Because I grew up not hardly getting anything that I wanted. I got my necessities, but I never really got what I wanted except for every now and then, okay? So yes, I became a thief. It's like my circumstances. I don't blame it on my circumstances, but at the same time, I recognize that the circumstances in my life did contribute to the paths that I've taken, okay? And that's the truth for everybody. Okay, and the circumstances that we end up going through is due to a divine purpose in our lives. And it's up to us to find that purpose. And in order to find that divine purpose, we must seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. And then all of these things will be added unto us. Okay? How do you do that? By humbling yourself. Understanding that you don't know everything. Understanding that everything that we've been taught since we've been born into this world has been according to the system that has been established already before we came into it. Okay, so you have to come to this realization. You have to come into the realization that there is a system, this world, and the system thereof, that you are born and you grow up and your parents send you to nursery, and then you go to kindergarten, and then you go to grade school, then you go to high school, then you go to college, and you may want to pursue bigger education so you could be a doctor or a lawyer or some big top scientist or a nuclear physicist or whatever. All of these different options that this system that was established has set up for all of us that are born into this world. Okay, so you think you got all of these choices. You can be whatever you want to be. Only the sky is the limit. However, we are spirit, living in a mortal body that was born into this world's system, which is an illusion. I know that I'm losing some of you. The illusion is not physical, it's spiritual. Because the world that we're born into causes you to cast off the spiritual to focus upon the physical. And that is what makes it an illusion. But there are some that come into this world's system that retains their unique spirit. And their unique spirit causes them to rebel against conformity to this established system in which we're expected to participate in. We are who would be considered your star seeds. We're the ones that the living power sent to awaken at a certain time upon the earth, bringing back to remembrance who we are. And we're standing upon our feet, primarily the living witnesses that were dead 3.5 days, 3.5 years, 3.5 hours, a time, times, and half a time. Well, now, you people who want to read your revelations and you talking about the witnesses being arisen, we are those witnesses. You can't kill us anymore. You can't kill us any longer. No longer can you kill us because you have already killed us. And our dead body lay dead in the street for a time, times, and half a time. You have yet to restore us when you came and you invaded our lands. See, all of this is after the first Egypt. Both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom has been up under captivity together under the thumb of the worst of the heathen. and you think that you're going to continue having your foot on our neck. You think you're going to continue to trotting us underfoot. You're not. See, your time is up. And those at the top, they know it. It's all of you that are in your churches, following your pastors, that don't know any better. Therefore the Father has mercy upon you, and He has risen us up. He gave us the life rafts to hand out to you. It's up to you whether you're going to accept them or not. Okay? We're not going to force the life raft around your body. What we look like trying to force you to put on this life raft. You want to reject the life raft? Okay, so be it. Reject it. Drown then. That's what you choose. You only have two choices, life or death. Good or evil. The Most High living power, or Satan, the destroyer of everything good. All things good. Bruh. Feeling with freaking nerve pain in my left leg, bro. You know, scatty or whatever the fuck that's called. But, you know, this physical mortal body, bro, I know that there's healing places upon this earth that heals our body, heals our temple, you know. Every ailment that we have, bro, there's a plant, an herb, freaking minerals, places on the earth that will heal. And they have been hiding these things from us, bruh. They've been keeping these things from us. They've been, because they subdued true Israel and Judah, they were able to subdue the whole damn earth. Okay? Because we were the ones that were given dominion of the earth. Okay? We were the ones that were given rule of the earth. The righteous. Okay? From Enoch to Noah to Abraham to freaking Isaac, Jacob, you know, to the 12 tribes of Israel. Like, bro, this is our shit, okay? And it was allowed for you worst of the heathen to take control of the earth, to take the reins of the earth. It was allowed for y'all to do that for a times and half a time. What you don't understand is that your time's up. Okay? The Father only allowed this to happen because of our disobedience. But there's a time limit on it. Because divine eternal laws are in effect. The divine eternal laws of sowing and reaping is in effect. And the earth itself has time intervals. The earth itself is alive, okay? Put it that way. Why is that still on Dell, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Come on. Don't do me this way. So anyway, bro. Yeah, my computer's working now. Sorry about that. I was a little concerned when I noticed that the Dell was still spinning. So, It's still taking forever to get to my welcome screen. There it goes. So anyway, yeah, we're at the end, okay? This was the fourth part of the earth, the final part of the earth that you were allowed to trodden down, and the final people, like we were over here, you know. The so-called lost tribes were over here, and Christopher Columbus knew who he was coming to subdue. All right, and then you guys continuously kept destroying us. Repeatedly, you continue to destroy our towns, burn them down, bombed our towns, flooded our towns. Like, you continue to do this to us and then tell us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Are you kidding me? We're the only people that you refuse to restore. And you look your nose down at us and you tell us to get your jobs. All the CEOs of these corporations are European. Or some other freaking nationality. They never are people. Give us back our land. Give us back our resources so that we can live off our land. We deserve to be free. I don't want to be up under captivity. I don't want to be under your economic beast system, having to go to grocery stores to buy food when I can grow food on my own damn land. When I can build my house on my own damn land. When I can use the energy of the sun and electromagnetism to have electricity on my own land. I don't need you and your system. Your economic system that you're forcing people to be complacent with and to participate in. We don't need your system to live on this earth. Let us be free and have our own land. Let us answer to our power, the Most High living power, our conscience. Let us live by the dictates of our own damn conscience. And those of you who just choose to live wild and ignore their conscience, you go off in no man's land. You are set apart from us. You can just go be a wild man in no man's land, okay? Let us human beings with hearts of gold alone, so that we can build loving communities and be in happiness and peace. I ain't advocating the death of anybody. I want freedom and happiness for all humanity and all creation. Therefore, those of you who want to live without having to deal with your conscience, won't we just put all y'all together on an island and y'all can all just rape, rob, and murder each other, okay? Do whatever the hell you want to do to one another because you don't care about the conscience, you know? So y'all deal with yourselves and leave us loving people, you know, to ourselves, all right? Because, bro, I am not of this world. And now that I know who I am and the Father has risen us up, bruh, you're not going to put us back to sleep. Are you crazy? Apparently you are. All you evangelical Christians, you've been deceived. We're not going back to sleep. You ought to listen to us. You ought to humble yourself. You ought to repent. You ought to try to restore us. You ought to want to sow unto us. You ought to want to help us. Because the alternative is not going to be pretty. And no, I don't want that for you. I want you to take heed to the things that are coming through the willing vessel. The spirit of truth is upon the earth these days. I suggest you take heed. I suggest you listen. Shalom. Wow, 111. Oh my gosh. 111. Soon as I said shalom and opened my phone to close it out. My gosh.